So you don't believe in yourself. Let's fix that right now. We're going to start with the big one, the one that I feel like people are most fearful of. When you say it, they think that, oh, I don't have that. You do. You just have to develop it, and that's confidence. It is something that you wear like a piece of clothing. You can do it. Everybody can do it. I can do it. You just have to develop that skill. I'm in the process of developing my skill right now, and you wouldn't even know. One of the things that I find is helpful is practicing to project your voice. You can practice this the next time you place an order somewhere. You want to practice having your own back, even if it's something small. You want to develop this skill to know that if I say something, I have my back. I know what I'm talking about. And the best way to practice this is when you know what you're talking about. You know what you're ordering. You know what you're ordering. And then you can build this from after you get to a point where you practice speaking confidently, really supporting yourself, really backing yourself up mentally in your mind. Nobody else has to know that this is what you're practicing. But being able to speak confidently, like, I know that this is what I want, you can then start practicing being comfortable to talk about things that you like. Puzzles, baking, cooking, biking, whatever it is, you can practice talking about something you're knowledgeable about. Even if it's like the smallest thing, anything, just practice having your own back. Another thing that I find really helpful is if you practice being openly friendly with people. I don't know what's the right terminology there. But one of the things that I had to practice was when I'm going on a walk or something like that, or even if I'm just out and about, I practice saying hello to people, even if they don't speak to me first, because it's another way that I am standing behind my decision. I chose to say hello first. And I say this because I find a lot of times, especially when you're feeling like your self esteem is low, your confidence is low, you don't speak unless spoken to. And you want to start building that skill that if I have something to say, I will say it. And the first thing can be you make the decision that I am going to at least say hello to people that I walk past. Even if it starts with just a smile. You walk by and you smile, and that's it. Maybe don't start off with saying anything first. But then, after you get comfortable doing that, the next thing you can do is say hello. Maybe say hello softly. And then after that, you can build up to actually projecting your voice. But that is another way to practice that skill as well. Another thing that could be really helpful is if you're going shopping or you're just another situation where you're out and about, but you're engaging with people, like let's say you go to a mall, for example, you can start practicing starting a conversation in a place that's not busy, right? Don't try to have a conversation where there's a bunch of other customers everywhere. But you can try this with other customers or you can try this with employees. I used to work in a place a long time ago where we had moments where it wasn't that busy. So when people came in to talk, it was fine. And you can practice small talk in this way by asking like how their day is going, or if they recommend a food place, try to pick something that you're not stuck in a long conversation in if you don't want to be. So something like the food, like they can just give your answer. You can say, thank you very much. I'll try it and I'll let you know next time if I've tried it, how I felt about it. Something you can get out of really easy. But that is another great practice to put yourself in situations where you don't really know how a person is going to respond or what they're going to say, but it helps you practice your conversational skills. Before I continue, this is not in any particular order. Well, sort of. It sort of is. I would practice interacting with people and really building that confidence. It's like actually speaking up, because I feel like that's where a lot of our like insecurities can be rooted in. As I was saying though, the next thing you want to work on is your posture. You want to practice like being in the mirror, looking at how your body is when it's straight, right? Like for me, I had several places. Like I needed to align my hips, like my back was kind of curving in and then my butt was out. So I had to really activate my glutes so I can stand up straight. And then in my back, like I was kind of hunched all the time. You want to pull those shoulders back, get your chest out, baby. Like you need to really, like, I am here and you are here. And that is something easy that you can fix. Practice that in the mirror and practice so that you know what it feels like. So if you aren't in a mirror, you can know what it feels like to sit up, or at least be close enough to it. So practice in the mirror, look away, see how that feels, and then look back in the mirror and make sure your posture is still aligned so you can know what that adjustment feels like too. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. I promise you, it's going to be uncomfortable at first, but you will get used to it. Also, this can help with some other things too. Like I used to have really bad congestion and my like allergies. That's something different. I still get allergies and stuff like that, but I would just like randomly get congestion. And then one day I saw this video where someone was talking about fixing your posture can help with congestion. And so I started practicing it and I realized that it helped me so much. Like the way I was sitting, like my chest so collapsed. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. So this is just what I feel like helps me specifically. But anyway, yes, having my chest all crunched up like this, I felt like it was not helpful for me. So practice sitting up, practice being tall, practice being present, not minimizing yourself, not making yourself small on a physical level either. The next thing that I recommend is spending time alone, extended periods of time alone, and by choice. So you can learn about what are things that I enjoy doing. And it's not just, okay, maybe I can add a story here. So I used to feel like all of my value was rooted from what other people told me who I was. Does that make sense? So if someone told me I was a kind person, I believed that I was a kind person. If somebody told me that I was funny, I believed that I was funny. If somebody told me I was attractive, I believed that I was attractive, right? But the same thing on the flip side, if somebody told me that I wasn't kind, that I was rude or whatever, like I genuinely let people tell me who I was, right? And this was because I didn't spend enough time. And there are reasons, we all have our reasons. I'm not saying that your reasons are invalid, but you have control on what happens next, right? So you decide who you are. And the only way that you can decide this is if you spend extended amount of time by yourself. And the reason why I'm emphasizing extended amount of time, because it's nothing for you to say, I'm going to spend the afternoon alone, because you have something to look forward to. Tell yourself, I'm going to spend time alone for the next 2 weeks. Don't do a countdown. Don't sit here every day like, okay, well, I'm just going to do this to pass the time. Really spend some time with yourself. Read a book. Soak your feet. Get excited about doing these things, and then the rest will flow. What you want to do, how you want to spend your time will flow to you. But it's when you spend the time with yourself, letting your mind turn away from other people and onto yourself. Because then when people start telling you who you are, good or bad, it doesn't faze you. It doesn't faze you, and it shouldn't. Because that's where self-worth comes. Let's go to the next thing. The next thing that I want to talk about varies depending on your belief system. Whatever it is, though, tap into it, because there is power there to help you become whoever it is that you want to be and gain whatever it is that you want to gain. Because the reality is, you do not care for where you are in your life at this moment, especially when it comes to self-esteem. That's why we're at this video right now, because you do not believe in yourself, and there is something that you want to change about that. And that's good. You should want to believe in yourself. Tap into whatever it is that you believe. For me, it's manifestation. And you can watch this in real time. I believe at this present moment, I have about 5 subscribers. That's it. I have 5 subscribers. I am manifesting that very, very soon, I'm going to have my first 100. I'm going to have my first 100 subscribers. It's on its way. I don't need you to tell me. I don't need no one else to tell me. It's going to happen because I believe that it's going to happen. I am manifesting that in this moment. You can do that too. And it can be whatever it is. You can manifest being a kind person. You can manifest financial gain. You can manifest anything. You can manifest anything if that is what you believe. But whatever it is, tap into what you believe and let that be something that is at the forefront because that's where you're going to get your confidence in. Sometimes you don't see the way, and the way is not important. All you need to know is that it is coming. You have to believe that it is coming, whatever it is. Some way, somehow, it is on its way to you right now, and you don't need to know why. That's not your responsibility right now. You don't need to know how, in what way, none of it. It's coming to you. It is coming to me right now. And it's because I believe you. I have nothing special right now that you don't have right now to believe in whatever it is that you want. And actually, next, let's talk about those negative thoughts that keep you from believing what it is that you want. So you have negative thoughts that are getting in the way of getting to where you are. And sometimes that looks like I can't just think something and it'll happen. I heard you. Or it looks like I did this before and it didn't work for me, so it's not going to work now. I heard that too. There's a lot of negative things that'll creep in and keep you from getting where you need to go. And that's where you need to put in the practice. Just like in the beginning, when we practice talk about speaking up and really standing behind what it is that you have to say, you have to also stand behind what it is that you want and what it is that you believe, and that you have the power to get it. So with those thoughts, you have to just start thinking to yourself, I am not going to subscribe to that. I am not going to believe that. Yes, that happened before. That does not mean it's going to happen again. There was a point in time that I walked outside and I tripped and fell. Every time that I go outside, I am not going to trip and fall. So why do I believe that for this? There's no reason. There's no reason. You can change it. You just have to practice. It's not going to be easy. Maybe write them down and then change the belief from that. For me, it's a feeling. When my negative thoughts come in, it's a feeling. I can feel those negative thoughts. And so I choose to feel something else, which seems very simple, but it takes me sometimes like 2 days to a week to actually feel something else. Here's an example. One of the negative thoughts that I had when I wanted to start this channel was that you are not going to upload videos constantly. I'm sorry, consistently. Is that you are not going to post videos consistently. And I genuinely believe that. I felt that. And I'm like, but this is what I want to do. And I believe that it is going to take off for me. I believe that it is going to go well. Right? At first, I couldn't focus on the not posting consistently. Right? I had to change all the other thoughts. It's going to go well for me. It's going to go well for me. And because it's going to go well for me, I'm going to post consistently. So now it's I post consistently and it is going well for me. It is going to go well for me, so I post consistently. I choose what consistently looks like. It doesn't have to be something beyond my control. So then that gets another negative thought that I have. That somehow it's going to get to a point that is out of my control. I evolve with my YouTube channel. I evolve with whatever it is that I'm trying to do. So guess what that does? That automatically shifts the focus from where I am now or where I felt like I was then to where I want to be. I evolve with this experience. So going back to the negative thoughts that you might have, I can't just think something and it happens. Okay, so don't just think something and let it happen. Maybe it needs to be I evolve to who I need to be to gain what it is that I am trying to gain. That is something that has never happened in my past before. I evolve with whatever it is that I'm trying to gain. Insert whatever it is you're trying to gain. And start there. Sometimes you have to shift it a bit. Words are like spells. They have power to them. And if what you're saying doesn't feel good, switch it a little bit. Maybe it's not that simple for you. Maybe it's not just, I believe it, so it is. Right now. You can work up there. Change it to, I evolve with where I need to be to have the faith that I need to have. Whatever it needs to be. In fact, Comment down some of your negative thoughts that you might have that you are struggling with. And at the end of my next video, if I have some, at my 5 subscribers, if I have more subscribers that actually do this by the next time I make my video, at the end, I'll switch some. I'll help you with some of the thoughts. I'll try to give you at least 2 to 3 other thoughts to have in place for that. Comment down below your negative thought, and I will help you out. Another thing I wanted to add that I forgot to add was to practice saying no or yes to things you do or don't want to do. Like, if you're hanging out with people and they're like, oh, like, we just finished this place, do you want to go to this next place, and you don't want to go, say no and practice not feeling bad about it. Like, you have the right to go home. You have the right to do whatever it is that you want to do. So practice that as well. The last thing I want to point out, nobody is perfect. As I kept mentioning throughout this entire video, this is a skill that you are building. It is not going to be perfect, and it does not have to be for it to work. That is the beauty of it. It does not have to be perfect. You can make mistakes, and you probably will, because it's a new thing for you. So you just keep at it. You keep on believing that you have that power to get exactly what it is that you're trying to get to. Right now, it could solely be the confidence. Believe that it is coming and that you are doing everything that you need to do to get you there. Keep practicing. You got this. You will build this confidence. I promise you have the capability to do it. It is not about looks. It's not about who you have around you. It's not about any of that. It's all you. And you have it, I promise. You just have to develop this skill. And it is something that you can just put on, just like armor. Except this is the other side of that. But if you are stumped, let me know. I will post another video to help you out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a great day or night. And while you're still here,